Why don't refs respect Luka Doncic? Why doesn't he get the same calls James Harden or LeBron James get? It seems like both of them live at the free throw line, while he's treated like a little brother game in and game out. He has the numbers. Call him whatever you want, the wonder boy or baby goat, we can attest that Luka Doncic is already one heck of a basketball player. His unexpected rise to greatness in just his second year shocks no one because of his exceptional talent on the basketball court. But regardless of his impressive track record and stellar performances night in and night out, Luka doesn't get the superstar treatment that his on-court peers enjoy, particularly in getting fouls or calls in the most crucial stretch of the game. In this video, we'll do some investigation on why Luka doesn't get the respect he rightfully deserves and why the NBA refs refuse to blow their whistles on Luka Doncic. Before we start, we want to thank all of our loyal subscribers. We greatly appreciate you and hope we produce the best content for you. This video was inspired by one of our subscribers, Michael Flores, who pointed out on the community tab that we should do a video on this topic. So this one's for you, Michael. Let's get into it. Now, basketball is a physical sport. Lots of banging, jostling, and hacking are happening in every basketball game, and that's just normal. But how much is too much? Luka is one of those players who publicly took a swipe on NBA refs for the unfair officiating against him. He felt like he has a huge target on the back of his jersey, and players can just do whatever they want on Luka while getting away unpunished. In one regular season game against the Pacers, Doncic blew his own imaginary whistle against the refs when he drew blood after being harassed in a defensive play by Victor Oladipo. Afterward, he then sarcastically made some statements on that particular incident by saying, "They hit me in the face, and that should be a foul. They should look at it. I think the rule is when you get hit in the face, they've got to look if it's flagrant or not, right? Like I said, I was hit in the face 3 times. 2 of them was not a foul. They didn't care. It was clear. Everybody saw on the Jumbotron." Dallas Mavericks head coach Rick Carlisle thinks likewise and even blasted the officials by saying that other teammates were beating the shh out of Luka and they were taking liberties with him. The one-time NBA champ coach even brought the case of Mavs legend and his former player Dirk Nowitzki, another foreign superstar who he claims received the same treatment that Luka's undergoing right now. He's a guy that gets hit a lot. People take a lot of liberties with him. I was here for 11 years with Dirk Nowitzki, who people constantly took shots at, who would try to get physical with him, who would try and distract him, everything else. Everyone else in the league is trying to do it with Doncic too. He's tough. He can handle all of it. But when he comes over to the bench and he's got scratches and blood marks on his arms and hands, I know there's something there. After hearing those statements, Luka's continued to voice out his sentiments and gave his 2 cents about the ref's unfair treatment against him. But is there really a grain of truth to it? Is this all just a couple of isolated cases, or a call for respect and attention? With that in mind, let's take Luka's case by looking at the numbers. According to the advanced stats of basketball-reference.com, Luka ranks 18th in terms of free throw attempt rate, or the number of free throw attempts per field goal attempt that a player's made. The number 1 player in this category is Dwight Howard with 77.3%, who obviously has a higher chance of getting fouled every time because he frequently dunks the ball right underneath the rim. Another big man, Rudy Gobert, and Heat forward Jimmy Butler takes the number 3 and 4 spot respectively, while perennial lane attackers like Giannis and James Harden are placed in the 9th and 10th spots with 52.8% and 50.8%. Now you might think Luka's lagging way behind his peers. His 44.8% free throw attempt rate is actually not bad for a player like him, who has a high usage rate percentage of 36.8%. He actually ranks 3rd with 248 behind James Harden's league-leading 326 and Giannis's 306 this season in terms of drawing fouls on the offensive end. He's also the 2nd-ranked player in finishing and one plays with 80 behind the Greek Freak's 94. So when you look at these stats, Luka seems to be aggressive enough to influence the striped refs to call fouls every single time. However, this isn't the case when Luka drives inside the lane. In this category, Luka stands at the back of the line behind the NBA's top 3 players in terms of free throw attempts per drive, which belongs to James Harden, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Jimmy Butler. According to NBA advanced stats, things seem to be evened out at first when you divide it into 100 possessions. Harden drives the ball 23 times per 100 possessions, 16.4 for Giannis, Jimmy got 22, and Luka even has the highest drive per 100 possessions with 25. While that seems to be a no-brainer because of Luka's capability in trudging inside the shaded lane, the shocking disparity comes when you take an in-depth look at the free throw attempt per drive category. Despite being the player that takes the ball and attacks the lane 25 times, Luka was only able to generate 0.16 free throw attempts per drive. This is way below his closest peers like Butler, who tops this category with 0.27 free throw attempts per drive, followed closely by Giannis with 0.26 and Harden with 0.24. I think this is where Luka's frustration with the league officials had begun. The stats don't lie. Although he's able to take drives in the lane, Luka doesn't get the calls his closest rivals do. After laying this stat, one of the reasons why I think the refs sometimes turn a blind eye and refuse to blow the whistle when Luka tries to initiate contact or draw a foul is his superstar legitimacy. It's no question that Luka's now a bona fide star in the NBA, but under that cloak of greatness, he's just a 20-year-old kid who just finished his second year in the league. In the eyes of the refs, he's not yet an established figure compared to Harden, Giannis or Jimmy, who played hard all through these years to build their reputation in the league. Luka has yet to earn the respect that these players have already earned throughout these years. In short, Luka has yet to pay his dues. Even if you're a super rookie right from the get-go, you really have to prove yourself that you have that dog mentality in you. Heck, even MJ and LeBron had a hard time getting calls in their early years despite their unprecedented dominance. But on the flip side, although I think he still needs to earn the respect from the vets, if Luka gets fouled, the refs need to call it. Period. A player shouldn't come off the floor with a bloody arm because he needs to earn the refs' respect. You can't be soft in the NBA, but the refs need to call fouls when they happen. But I think it's only a matter of time before the refs finally give Luka the proverbial superstar calls. Give him probably another year or two, and I think Luka will stop the whining and complaining in front of the refs' faces. With his stocky frame and heavy build combined with his unbelievable basketball IQ, Doncic is on the track to becoming an unstoppable force in the league for years and decades to come, and NBA refs will have no choice but to blow their whistles eventually. Do you agree with me on this one? If not, what do you think could be the reasons why Luka doesn't get the calls he deserves? Let me hear your answers on this one through commenting down below. And also, before you go, if you love all things Luka Doncic, be sure to watch our Luka playlist on the screen. Until next time.